Hello everybody, Tomahuno here, and it's been quite some time. I'm gonna have to do voiceovers on this because my audio was crap. Plus, it would be easier for me to do voiceovers because I am currently no longer in my room. I'm no longer in my little closet, so I'm actually in the middle of getting ready to move out of the house for the first time in ever. And I'm gonna go on to college, which is a very exciting thing for me. But today we're gonna play Terraria, and we're gonna do a couple of run-throughs through this game. I'd like to do one just good old expert mode, classical playthrough, nothing serious. Then I want to go on to master mode, and we're gonna do like a big building world through master mode, and then maybe do a challenge run another time with like maybe kind of like some of the challenge runs done by Chippy's Couch or Waffle Time or things like that. And then I want to do at least one modded playthrough throughout. But as you can see, I'm getting ready to create my character. What I did was I tried finding where it's been a while. I usually play Terraria on PlayStation. First time really actually playing on computer. Tried finding that randomizer button. I just clicked that a whole bunch of times before I came up to the... tried clicking off fast to get off to the create, but couldn't get there. Alright, first thing we do when we hop into this world is we make sure everything is working alright. That's that little kind of just chill out moment you saw right there at the beginning. Make sure everything was working because, like I said, first time recording forever. But what we do is we're gathering as much wood as possible, and by as much wood as possible, I mean like 600, and then we start our speed builds of our NPC housing. And let me just tell you, we're building as fast as possible. We're building faster than you can say Waffle Time sucks. Not really, he's a great YouTuber, I love him. I've been watching way too much of his content, and that may or may not be the reason why I am doing these Terraria playthroughs at all. But we get the NPC housing to about this point before night falls, and as night comes, we die a lot. I mean, just look at this. Oh, I was hoping not to die very first too. Oh my goodness. I'm trapped. Go from feeling like a boss to completely going, what the heck? And after the night's over, we die a total of 7 times, which for me in one night, not that bad. But we're trying to finish up the rest of our housing when the first boss of the series decides to come bouncing along their way. A good old Pinky. And we spend our time trying to defeat this thing. And I luckily beat it without dying. So, better than the night. And we slowly build our confidence back up to continue with our housing and a little bit of exploring as well. After finishing with the Pinky, we decide to go ahead and explore towards the left of our world. We slowly come across the desert as our first other biome, and actually after seeing this light underneath the area, that reminds me of an old speed running trick where if you look for a room, you can find this, and this actually worked, and I was actually really surprised when this happened. So I just start digging straight down, and what we come across is, of course, a desert pyramid, and what we find in our loot chest after getting a whole bunch of gold was actually not the Pharaoh's outfit. It was a sandstorm in a bottle, which marks as our first accessory of the series. But we go ahead and grab that money, and we decide to go ahead and take it all the way down to the bottom of the pyramid to find out that it's just a cave. And I saw a bat and immediately got scared, got home. To get my 15 gold, I couldn't see. I'm looking at a tiny screen, by the way, so I didn't see, but we start heading off to the right, and let's speed around. Pretty much all of this is useless. We got maybe these claws, and that's it. Those were 3 trees. We've come across another 3 trees. While exploring the 3 trees, I find this little cave, another desert pyramid. What is going on? And in that desert pyramid, we got another sandstorm in a bottle, which sucked. Continuing further on, we come across the corruption, and we're grabbing some more loot. We get a wand of sparking and a boomerang. And I actually missed this chest on the left originally. And I found out that knives are hella, like, useful at the beginning of the series. Like, oh my goodness, knives are a very underrated weapon, because I decided I was going to throw them away, and then I started using them. Like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of knockback. They go through enemies. They actually do decent damage, and you can get them from pots. And I just started using them, and well, yeah. After getting sent home unwillingly, we decided to start on our storage system. Sorry, words got away from me, and we get not a lot of chests, but pretty much all the chests we had except for the one, and start putting away all our potions and items. That way we can have a clean inventory, because having a messy inventory is awful. And we just work through this as much as possible. After that, we decided to go ahead and back towards the right of the world. I wanted to go back and get that sword that I dropped, as well as get some of those chests that I missed, and we ended up dying another time, which sucked, and we kind of just was like, over it, it's fine. So then we head down to the cave system underneath our original pyramid, remembering we found the demonite, and was actually like, you know what, we have bombs, let's get some of that. And really, I don't have much to say, but we just mine all this up quite a lot. Ended up not dying much at all, but yeah, we just mined all this up. Oh, and died one more time. Sorry, it's a new day of editing, so trying to remember everything that I had written down, because I actually have nothing written down. Fun fact, I don't write things down. Anyway, gathering up as much as possible, and end up actually finding a fairy, which I thought was kind of amazing, and went ahead and took us down to a water chest, as you'll see in a few seconds. Go ahead and follow that back up through the cave system. We're still in the same cave that we originally were in, underneath the pyramid. Explored it a bit more, found a water chest down here, and it was filled with interesting loot. Not very fun. Then, continuing on, we found actually a minecart system, killed a bat, and got on the minecart system. I don't remember along the way, but we found 2 heart crystals somewhere. I could not find it in the recording, though I know it was there because I did grab them. But we decided to go ahead and grab some gold along the way. We found another fairy along the way as well, which takes us to actually another heart crystal if we keep following it. We find more demonite, and we basically just keep mining in the brain fart. We keep mining in the cave system, getting more demonite along the way. We eventually come across a mushroom biome. When we go down there, first thing we see is on to the left is a house. I actually decide to wait on that, and I head towards to the right of the biome to check out anything over there before going to check out the house. I decide I'm gonna grab a lot of obsidian because we're right next to the desert. I was like, you know what, water and obsidian, because you usually get lava in the desert, and then you also get lava in the desert. You get water mainly usually in the mushroom biome, and we ended up finding a gold chest and 2 water chests. Grabbing here, they were okay loot. The water chests were trash. We had a couple of splunkies, but that's about it. We found actually a desert house right next to the biome, so we decided we were going to go ahead and go check that out, grab a heart crystal over there, and then that water below us, we bomb all the obsidian. Not all of it, but we also found this cool rope thing, which I didn't know existed, but was really cool, and I was like, oh my goodness, I want this from now on. So yeah. Oh, also we found the golfer, which Very surprising. He died immediately, which was also no surprise considering he was like, ooh, lava, and decided to walk towards it, and then was like, ow, that hurt, but then was like, ooh, lava, and then walked right next to it. Yeah. I ended up that was enough obsidian for now, and decided to go back towards the house, and we opened up the chest after defeating a couple of mobs, and we didn't really find much of anything of interest. Besides of the demon eye, which is very important later, but not the demon eye, the suspicious looking eye. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I just woke up. Not really. But we just continue to explore, and after a bit of exploring, we get to this point, and I'm like, you know what? We have a lot of money. We have a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and head home. And I go ahead and decide to do my inventory stuff, put them all in my chest, and then I decided to make a very important weapon. We made the Lightsbane, which, to begin with, was amazing because I don't think I've ever gotten the Lightsbane before defeating a boss, actually. So now we decide to actually head back towards the corruption, and I did pick up my weapon and the chests along the way. I know I didn't show it, but I decided, you know what, I'd like the arms dealer to come by, so I go ahead and go down here. I go ahead and blow up a heart crystal and a shadow orb. Realize I don't have any slime with me, so I can't actually grab that heart crystal if I don't do a couple of good maneuvers, and those maneuvers were awful. I was not able to do it, so I ran out. I went back up. I decided to go more towards the right and found the jungle, and in the jungle decided I was going to make a jungle pylon, so that's what I'm doing now, doing more speed building. Still the world champion. Don't let Waffle Time or Chippy's Couch or any other Terraria YouTuber see this, because it's not true. They won't believe you. But yep, we finished this, and we decide we're gonna keep on going and exploring. Anyway, we continued on downwards, found a chest. It had a cloud in a bottle in it. We didn't put it on, we put it right next to it, and came down to the arms dealer after all that was over and decided to go ahead and finally get that jungle pylon. We were going for a mini shark, accidentally got the pistol. That was alright. We just sold it right back and grabbed the mini shark. We continued more right towards it and found another tree and found more useless loot. After the tree, we found the angler, but also the ocean, and continued down there. Had to fight off a shark, and found a total of actually 2 chests. So one of the chests had flippers. I did not grab those. I just left them in the chest. The second chest had a blowpipe and left that. Tried to see if there was one more chest. Couldn't see one, so decided probably should head home before I drown to death. Ooh, excuse me. Also, that's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing, but that happens, apparently. Grabbed a gravitational potion and actually found 3 things. I found a balloon in a bottle, a Star Fury, a balloon. I found a balloon, a Star Fury, and a Lucky Horseshoe. Went back home, did inventory work, and just more inventory work. And finally decided, you know what? Screw it. Let's go fight a boss. So I decided to spawn up the Eye of Cthulhu. I forgot that I didn't have a Hermes boots or a hook, and I like those 2 things when fighting this boss. So, and another thing, I was like, well, since I don't have those, I might as well put the nurse there to heal in case I needed it. And when the time came, the nurse decided, you know what? I don't want to be there. So we actually fly through his first phase, not really getting hit much at all. The second phase is the thing I like to have at least a hook for, and we get basically completely obliterated in the second bit. I was going for the nurse there, as you saw. She ran away. I was like, well, crap, and I'm dead. But all's well ends well, so we decide to set up a little entranceway into the house in case she runs away again, and decide, you know what, let's get those Hermes boots, let's get that hook. So we go ahead and go down, and actually, while exploring, my computer game decided, you know what, I don't want to do anything anymore. So it crashed. I lost not a lot of progress because I actually had just came back for a second day. So I had logged off, came back another day to come and record, and I had been on there for maybe 5 minutes before it crashed. So luckily didn't lose a lot, and actually came across quickly topaz area, and we grabbed a lot of topaz. We got plenty to make a hook, got a hook. Goblin army decided, you know what, let's approach. And I was like, you know what, no. So I decided to go to the desert to go ahead and see this, and I forgot this was actually added a while ago. I forgot about this trap because I never explored the underground desert. Ended up dying again and was forced to fight the goblins and died not as many times as I thought I was going to because of those archers. I actually found if using my arena actually helped a lot in this fight, and I did not die a lot. It was amazing, and I think it was a total of 4 times I died. I think it was 4 times throughout the entire fight. So that's the second one. Continued on, decided, you know what, let's grab my grenades. Grabbed them in my explosion chest. Only had 15, so I had to use them willingly, but mostly was using it when they were clumped up in those small groups. What I did was I kind of tried, I lured them one way, went over the other way, lured them that way, got them in a big group, used those grenades to grab them. Died another time, it was bad, and then this was the last time I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna kill that thing. And it showed up, and I was like, oh, I got it, and went to kill it, killed it. They killed me as well at the same time, so. But, decided, you know what, let's end them all off with a firing squad. Killed them. Decided to start on my elevator, which I did not get very far into. I started it, got maybe 15 blocks down, was like, you know what, no, screw this, I need Hermes boots. Decided to go, I moved my demolitionist and merchant to the desert, not the desert, the jungle, and just bought a whole bunch of bombs and bombed my way down to the jungle, and would spend the next basically 2 hours down here in the jungle, exploring, dying a couple of times. It was fine. I ended up getting a Bazor and was like, you know what, jungle, don't need shoe spikes, put the shoe spikes up. Died to some man-eaters trying to blow them up. Found out that if you're underwater and you use your sandstorm in a bottle above water, it just cuts it off. Didn't know that. Died. Oh, excuse me. Got an inklet of the wind, which was pretty cool, and decided to bomb my way down more. Didn't actually pick up that demonite that you saw off to the left, because I didn't need it anymore. Found another house. Not useful gear at all. It had shoe spikes in it. Got plenty of life crystals, as you can see up in the top left or right. Got another band of regeneration. Wasn't really useful. And this was finally the chest where I got my Hermes boots, and it was decided, you know what, I don't need my stuff, and put it all in there, and then actually grabbed it all back. Ended up dying another time. I was actually on my way to the this minecart system, and this was my last death, I believe, in the jungle. Got 360 no scope by a by a hornet, so that was wonderful. Found the goblin. What I was doing with the minecart was I was going back and forth, trying to get him to spawn. Ended up getting him to spawn. I was able to get the rocket boots, escaped barely with my life, and wanted to go ahead and go fight the Eye Cthulhu again. That time sped up was me sitting there for a good while, waiting for things to spawn. Nothing has spawned at this point. It had been night for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. 2.5 hours, 2.5 minutes. And got my last possible lens basically when morning came. And then I sat the entire day, just sat there, waiting. I was too lazy to make a bed, but just waited and decided, you know what, it's time. And we went ahead and spawned him up, and we absolutely obliterated him. Watch this. We're gathered here live in the Terraria world as we watch Tomahuno Ojive decide to fight the Eye Cthulhu. Quick interruption by some random malware being like, hey, you should download us so you don't get that, but it's fine. He's absolutely destroying it, not getting hit. Going through. It's only 8 o'clock. He's already in his second phase. It's not looking good for the Eye of Cthulhu. First hit of the day right there, and wasn't even by the boss. Absolutely demolishing this. There's no reason why the Eye of Cthulhu should have even considered trying this fight. I know they had been calling him the champion of the overworld for some time now, but I think it's time that he lay down his title and give it to someone else. What do you think, John? Well, I think that Tomahuno did some very great movements and completely obliterated this. Thank you. Back to you. Alright, anyway, after the Eye of Cthulhu was done, we decided, you know what? We got that shield. I'm high on beating things and ready for another one. So I decide, you know what? Let's get those gesture arrows, and we're going to immediately go for the Eater of Worlds. And absolutely took me quite a bit of time actually to get that set up. Decided, you know what? Spiky balls. Spiky balls is actually really useful. I didn't know this, but apparently the vial spit that the Eater of Worlds spits out, if you hit it, it just goes away. So those spiky balls basically are just there to keep the vile spit from ever even touching you. See if you can see it, but like it works. I'm like, wow. I should have tried this a lot sooner, and I now know what to do if I get the Eater of Worlds for my Master Mode world. But we completely obliterated this one. It was a much closer fight than the Eye of Cthulhu. I think the Eye of Cthulhu was a lot more prepared than it needed to be, but just absolutely destroyed this one as well. It was not even close-ish. I got like maybe half health down. Don't even have full health yet. And we just decided, you know what? The spiky balls can do the rest. So I decided to, you know what, go ahead and grab my loot, waiting for it to come up, and boop. And we get an epic gamer dub victory. After grabbing everything, we go ahead and go home, grab our Demonite, grab our Demonite pickaxe, and get ready to go down to hell. But I think that's it for this video, because it's first one back. Want to hit it off with a bang. So also learning actually how to use this editing software. Look at this. I figured out how to blur stuff. Oh, there it goes. Figured out how to blur stuff. So that's kind of amazing. But we did a lot this episode. We got a lot of accessories, a lot of housing, a lot of just everything going through. We beat 2 bosses. It was amazing. So I want to thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and come see me hopefully next week, if I can get it out next week, for another epic gamer video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.